You doing today?
I'm doing. How about for you?
I am here.
Yeah.
I went to Six Flags on Thursday with my son,
Okay.
and
So
we
on July 4th,
yep.
last Thursday.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Was
And
that the? I'm trying to remember. Was that where you got the unlimited pass, or was that for something else?
unlimited pass.
That was okay. Yeah.
Yep, and it was a really nice time. We had free everything once you paid the
Yeah.
ticket. The walk up there to where it was in Hurricane Harbor.
However, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was something. I mean, you really had to walk by. And then it
Yeah.
started raining,
Oh.
but it didn't start till 6:30 at night, 6:30 to 10.
Okay.
So, but it was a really nice time. My first time going to Six Flags, and yeah, it was something. We had a DJ, we had free food, ice cream. Um, the wave pool. I never been that before. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a whole bunch of people there, kids everywhere. It was packed. So it was very, very. I thought it was a good time.
Well, I'm glad. What brought that on as far as like I guess he was off that day. Did you just say, hey, this is what I'm doing? Do you want to come along? Like what kind of brought that up for you guys to do that together?
Well, he came to me and asked me what I was going to do, and I had already planned to go to Six Flags.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, he wanted to come along. I said, come on.
Yeah.
So he actually did come, and I can't walk that far like he could because he's younger than me. So he was a little annoyed with that because I kept stopping. I was like, oh my God, how much farther is it?
Yeah.
I kept stopping, and then I was taking pictures and everything. But other than that, and then one time, I was in the Congo line because they had the Congo line. They had Daffy Duck and Miss Minnie Mouse and somebody else, and then they had these just these different characters dressed up. And then I was doing the Congo line. I was like, get my phone out, take a picture, because I couldn't get out the Congo line. He thought I was yelling at him, and I was like, no, I'm not yelling at you. I was just wanting to get my picture before we got out the Congo line.
Yeah.
And then I went back, and then they did the line dancing and the Star Spangled song and the fireworks at the end. It was really nice.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Then I couldn't walk back down the hill, so I had to get a ride. So
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it. This hill, that's too much. I mean, you go up to come up, but you're going down to go down. I just couldn't do it. My leg had gave out on me. But I had a good time. It was worth it. And then when I got home Friday morning, because I didn't get home till almost 1 o'clock in the morning, because it's about an hour away from my house.
Yeah.
And then, so we left about 11. I got here about 12:30ish, or whatever. By the time I got to my car, it was probably about 11:30 when I got to my car. So yeah, about 12:30 I got home. And I was plumb tired, and I was in so much pain. So I was like, I'm just going to relax, try to get the pain to go away in my leg, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. I said, what in the world? But it was worth it. I will
You
not
overdid
change.
it, but it was worth it.
It was worth it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
change a thing.
Yeah.
Because I got to get out and do something and take pictures and see something different, because I had never been to Six Flags before.
Yeah. That's great. I'm glad that worked out really well. I'm glad you tagged along. It sounds like you guys were able to enjoy yourself, not feel like we had to
For the most
talk about
part.
some hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for the
and like
most
maybe
part.
talk about a bunch of hot topic issues. We didn't have to bring up a bunch of stuff at the moment. We could just enjoy just as it was, not have to like get into a bunch of other things. And so Yeah, I'm glad that you guys could enjoy that without having to, focus on a bunch of other things that still are an issue. But for that day, we didn't have to maybe focus on that.
And also, I forgot to tell you, um, my family called with my son's phone while we was in the car, and I got to talk to all of them for a few minutes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was different. That was.
Who all did you talk to?
I talked to my mom. I talked to my 2 daughters. I talked to all 3 of my grandkids.
Okay. Yeah.
They was all at my daughter's house in Syracuse.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Well, I was gonna say, and do you feel like in having conversation with them, do you feel like not that everything's good, but do you feel like there was a sense of maybe they miss me, that maybe they actually care, and maybe for a moment, not all the time, but didn't care about what I had to offer.
I can't say they don't care. They care in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say they don't care. My mom was talking about I can call her anytime and get anything, but I know that's not to be true. But she said it. I said okay, but I don't want to fall back into that trap. She said that before, and it just ended so badly. So the trust is not there. With my daughter, one of my daughters, like, it's good to hear from you. Unblock us off your phone. I said I will later. And my granddaughter thought I was ignoring her, and I had to tell her, no, I'm not ignoring you. She's like, you usually be there for my birthday. I said, I know, I'm just not ignoring you. I'm just taking some time out for me. She wasn't trying to hear that. So, but I was glad to hear from all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it doesn't mean everything's good or great or there's no issues anymore. Not at all. There still are, but I think for that moment, it almost kind of felt like they care in their own way and didn't have to talk to me. They could have just ignored me and said, no, we don't want to talk to her. Like they could have said that. They didn't. Even to say like, well, it's good to hear from you, or hey, take us off the phone. It's like, it's almost as if like, there was a sense of like I still wanted to maintain a relationship with you. Now that may still have to have some boundaries going, in the future. It doesn't mean we can just go back to the way things have been. I can't be, throwing money out to whatever things that you're needing from me. I can't be just doing all that. But there was maybe a sense of like we can have a relationship and still just talk. And maybe we get to that point where it's not about a need, or it's not about I need something from you necessarily. But it's nice just to feel like you can have a conversation with them and it not be about that.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
And you can express to your granddaughter, it's like how old is she? 15?
15.
15, yeah. Again, may not knowing all the reasons why, and you probably couldn't just say it over the phone. Well, I gotta take some time for me because so many people have been crazy and bothering me, and I need space. But it's just like I needed space, But you kind of communicated without saying all the details of the reasons why. Of just like I needed to have a break from just all the communication, just in general, and if anything that allows them to think about like, was it you? But there's just a lot of things that I had to sort of decompress from that was happening, and so maybe kind of makes them think that there's some family things that have gone on that they'll be a little more aware of. But I mean, at 15 now, it's still, they're in their own kind of ego kind of world, so it's hard for them to think outside of that sometimes too.
They're not old enough. She's not old enough to. Well, she act like she old enough, but she's not old enough yet to understand that. So that's why I didn't go into further conversation with her.
Another 10 years from now, yes, you probably could. But
yeah. And I knew she wasn't trying to hear me. She was like, "Oh, Grandma, you supposed to be there for me." I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just need a little time for myself. So that was good to hear, and I was happy. But for some reason, I turned on and then I turned right back off. So that's something I'm gonna have to work on because I don't want to turn off. You know what I mean? Like I was there, but then as soon as the conversation was over, I wasn't there no more. So I need to work on that.
Meaning that you kind of closed off emotionally at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I just snapped in and then I snapped right back out, and I was like, I was realizing that it happened, but I was actually driving, talking to them on the way to Six Flags, so I was like, maybe that's a coping mechanism. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say anything. I was just thinking maybe that's a coping mechanism where...
I think so. Yeah, I think that's kind of not the way you always want to be, but I think it's caused kind of a default kind of response of this is how I've had to cope. This is kind of the defense mechanism. I've had to sort of like not get too attached. Because maybe in the past, like I've had a good phone call and I enjoyed it and like, oh, I'm so good talking to them and I feel the emotions and then something happens and I'm upset, and I'm on this seesaw of good and not good emotions. So better just say, keep my expectations low and just say, oh, that was nice to talk to them, but then cut off the emotions, not feel too good afterwards. Almost like blocking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's why I say, I think we were talking about that last time, just like being able to keep the door open for communication. But that doesn't mean I have to keep my heart completely open to it as well. It doesn't mean I have to keep my emotions out there. That you can unblock your phone and they may call again, and it might not go as well, or there might be that sense of trying to dictate or getting you to do something, or putting a lot of blame, or who knows what that could come through there. So, but I think in some ways it's like even just now you can say it was nice. It's hard to feel it, but I can say it's nice. It's kind of like for people who can't really accept compliments really well. It's like they don't maybe they've kind of been very emotionally numb or kind of not ever had a good healthy family dynamic to allow for that. So some people don't always accept compliments well, but being able to say thank you, even though I may not feel like accepting a compliment. Thanks for cooking that meal. It was really good. Thank you. Sometimes we can just say it to give ourselves permission to work towards feeling that. Maybe I can just say it was a good conversation. I may not have to feel all the emotions I'd like to, because I know if I do, sometimes it puts me in harm's way because the next time may not go as well. But I could just say, yeah, it was nice. It was good to hear from them. And I'm trying not to just put the walls back up, but I'm still going to be cautious about what future conversations might involve too.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I was just like, and even with we had that little tiff about he thought I was yelling at him. I could just told her, I acknowledge what you're saying, but that's not what I meant. And then just like that, I turned it off and went and did something else. So I got to really focus on that, because I don't want to be turned off. Get too familiar with that. It just turned off. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. So something my body is doing on its own right now. My mind is doing on its own.
Yeah. I don't want to feel too good about the conversation. I really enjoy that and be excited, and then something happens where it takes me back to that same place, and just this expectation. I was expecting the future phone calls will be like that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't be. But it's I don't want to feel too good about it, because then I'll expect it and then I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't want to be disappointed. I agree with that. I do not want to be disappointed again. It's not fun, and I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be naive to the fact of, what could happen in the future. I don't want to doom it. I don't want to do that,
Right.
I don't know, this was weird. The whole thing was weird to me. I was like, I don't think I've ever done that where I just clicked on and then clicked right off. So,
yeah.
Something I noticed immediately, and it happened 2 times, that it was some type of friction or something. It was some type of something going on. I just clicked on and clicked back off. I was like,
yeah.
So while I was put my leg up to myself, I was like, I got to keep an eye on that because you can actually, well, I think you can actually turn off and never turn back on. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
So I just
Or even not even just our family relationships, but people that we get to know, in our own kind of environment, a neighbor or somebody that we get to know, we can find ourselves sort of like not being too engaging with them which is understandable initially, but sometimes we can just feel like we're going to kind of put them off too much because we're going to think, well, they're going to they could be like my family, so I better kind of keep them at arm's length and distance away.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And we might miss out on something good. We might miss out on some really good connections with somebody, but we're that fear, that worry that they're going to disappoint us too, just like family has.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm feeling. So, but I had a good day, and it was a different 4th of July for me because everything I did was my first time doing it. So, check that off my bucket list. Check off a few things like I just checked off maybe 10 things off my bucket list.
Yeah.
And then they charged us $35 to park the car. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
I was like, that is a lot. They're making crazy money off of it. And it's a huge parking lot. So, just imagine how many cars pay $35 all day long.
I could say hundreds of thousands of dollars. Really, that would add up to just in a week. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I had a good time. And then, I went to the doctor. I think I went to the doctor Wednesday. And I don't understand the system down here, the medical system down here. So I got a little pissed off with the with the system. Not per se the doctor and nurse, but just the system they have to abide by. It got me a little teed off. I was like, I need to relax, just calm down, and I just kept repeating the same thing over again until they finally heard me. And I think that was the problem. They hear stuff all day long, so they just hear, what they want to hear, and they're not listening to the whole conversation. They're trying to multitask and whatever. So I just kept repeating the same thing, like, nope, that's not what I want. I want this. And I kept saying, just calm down. And then when they finally heard me, then I got what I wanted, which was, a referral to go somewhere else. But it just took like 3-4 times for me to say it, So I showed a lot of, I held back a lot of, I want to get loud and rowdy and cuss and fuss and, I want to damn near fight. And so I held all that back. So I was proud of myself that day because usually I am not that nice. I'm just like, So.
Yeah, most definitely.
So that was different for me because I'll show up and show out. So, just to get somebody, sometimes you have to raise your voice for somebody to hear you, but I was just like, I'm not doing it this time. I'm just not. And they said, anything else you need? Yes. And it was like, well, what is it? I said the same thing. When you just said that, well, if you listen, then I won't have said no more. So they was a little teed off at me as well, but we resolved the issue. So that's basically what it is. And anything else? I don't know if I did anything else. I don't think so. Watched a little TV. I've been watching Netflix and seen some weird shows. And I don't know why I was even interested in them. But they caught my attention and they held my attention. So I was like, well, if they're holding my attention, maybe it's something in it. But
yeah,
this was some weird shows. I don't know if you ever seen a show where it was about this teacher who taught people who can't communicate. They're autistic or very low on the spectrum, I believe, when you can't do nothing for yourself. And she ended up having a relationship with him sexually, and the parents sued her, and she went to jail for it. It's on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it. And I just said, why am I watching this? I was like, why am I watching this? But it was very interesting, when I got into it. But I was like, I don't know what drew me to this show.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it I did this week. Last
Yeah.
week, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever figure out what happened to your connection? Whatever happened with that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on with that. And so I also thought it was just this. Yeah, things just kind of happened. But yeah, I'm not sure what was going on. So far so good. So
Yeah, I said okay.
yeah.
So yeah, but I did want to talk to you about I think I am. I noticed something over there. I think I'm. I don't know. You how you look and try to diagnose yourself. I try not to do it, but sometimes you be interested in what's going on. But I get a little afraid now in public, like around all new people. I'm a little nervous, a little fidgety. And I wasn't like that before. I was usually the person that walk in the crowd, don't care if I knew you or not. I'm going to make some friends. I'm not like that no more. I don't know. So I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think could be different reasons for that. Or maybe you find yourself being pretty extroverted, but now so maybe not as much. Like a little more introverted, or maybe I would have no problem talking to a stranger, or maybe going into a crowded area or something like that, or maybe I got some energy from it or I enjoyed it, but now it's kind of like I'm more cautious about it. You mean?
Yeah. I noticed it when when we was at the Six Flags. Usually I am the talker. Hey, how you doing? Meet new. They like, that person? No. But this time
Right.
I was more reserved. I was more like, not angry. Not, I wasn't angry or disrespectful or anything like that. But I wasn't feeling, doing my usual. Because usually, by the time I leave the event, I got 5 or 6 new friends,
Yeah.
Not this time. I barely talk to anybody. I still have fun, but
Yeah.
I wasn't as communicating with other people as I usually see myself doing. So I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm in the house a lot, or I haven't had much contact with people, or communication wise. I don't know, but that was something I noticed too. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just hyper judging myself. I think that's what it is. I don't know if I'm creating something or it's actually something there. So I don't know.
Right, and I don't think we have to always look at it as like initially that's a problem, or that it's a whole other issue that's that I'm having to add to the list of things that are problematic. It could just be I've just kind of been not as around people, especially in a big kind of large setting like that, in a while. I know even just like you said, sometimes talking to people around the apartment complex, at the pool, and things like that. You've done a little bit of that,
Mm-hmm.
and so, and yeah, so it could be just it's just been a while since I've been in that kind of setting, or maybe this wasn't on my mind to really do. Maybe the expectation for me was just to go and enjoy myself and just get out, and I wasn't really thinking about the
Okay.
expectation of like I had to meet somebody or connect with people or talk to people. You can. Maybe I'm typically kind of a talkative person. I don't really meet a stranger, but I think just everything that you've gone through would kind of make you, yeah, like I said, a little more hesitant with that. Or maybe like I said, maybe that's my intention was more just to enjoy myself. I wasn't really thinking so much about, just being, extroverted and just, just having as many, outspokenness about me or conversations with people. That wasn't on my radar as much.
Yeah, that sounds about right because I was just thinking about having fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it didn't require me to have to interact a whole lot with
It
people. I mean,
didn't.
that always makes it fun and enjoyable as well. But that was my motivation was to make sure I talked to a lot of people. And you go back to go what 2 months from now, in September or so, going to the concert that you mentioned that you got for yourself. That might be the place you find yourself talking to more people possibly. That might be somewhere where you might find some people that you're sitting around or whatever the setup is like. Maybe you'll find yourself more in that kind of because you think about like an amusement park or water park, people are kind of coming and going constantly.
Yeah.
You might you might be talking to somebody in a line that you're waiting for, but by the time the line, the ride, or whatever is over, everybody's going different directions. So wouldn't draw stationary for too long.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
an amusement park, versus like unless you're standing in line for a good 20 minutes or so, you might have a conversation with somebody. Where if I'm at like a concert, like at a venue, whether it's in some sort of stadium or it's something like some sort of concert hall, or if it's in some sort of amphitheater, whatever it might be, I might be sitting around somebody or set up somewhere where somebody else will probably be maybe 5 or 10 feet away from me, and I might have more a conversation with somebody because they're probably going to be staying there for a good hour, a couple hours.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Cause I probably would just focusing on having fun. That's my goal. That was my goal to go there, and I did everything. Everybody that came around, like the Congo line and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I might as well do that too. So didn't take too much talking to do that stuff. Everybody was just enjoying themselves.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So probably making up something that wasn't even that big.
Well, no, that's okay. I think that goes back to just saying like this is I mean, for most of it, I mean, sometimes we can change. I mean, maybe we could probably say sometimes in our life like we don't. I don't know if it's like an older thing, but like the things that we used to do, we maybe don't do as much, or we think about like doing something, but we say, oh no, it's too much traffic, I'm not going to that thing, or we don't, when we're in our 20s and whatnot, we don't care. We'll do whatever. We don't think about like the things that are going to irritate us, like a long line or a traffic or things like that we don't want to have to continue with. As we get older, we think more about those things. We think more about our energy and how much we want to. Because we don't have as much endless supply of energy like we did when we were younger. So,
Right.
So I think sometimes some parts of our personalities might change a little bit in some of those ways. But like, for the most part, it's like maybe I've had to kind of curb a little bit of just like my outspokenness, or my just extroverted kind of communication. But maybe part of that's been because of what I've done with my family. Just kind of create a little bit of that as well. Kind of puts me in that kind of cautious state. But then maybe I've not had those typical arenas to communicate a whole lot unless it's been the apartment complex. I've not had as much to get out with to do those things to see if it is an issue or it's just I've just kind of been out of practice with it for some time.
Yeah, because the apartment complex is having a pool party on the 22nd. So I said, whoo, it's probably going to be packed, child, but I'm still going to go. But I said, it's probably going to be packed. Them children going to be running around. They're supposed to have DJ and food and activities and stuff. So I said, whoo. But I'm still going to go. I'm not going to, there's no reason why I can't go.
Yeah, I can go and I can enjoy it and I can talk to some people and I don't have to be there for, a long period of time. I'm just going to at least, show up, make an appearance, and at least, have somebody to get out with. So, and that's what you talked about before, which I think was great insight when you said, I don't think as much when I'm getting out.
Yeah.
My mind takes a break. I mean, we're gonna have times where we're in the house and we're gonna be thinking on things. But for the most part, if I can find myself doing something or getting out behind the four walls, that does me, some good.
It does. It doesn't. And I realized the hour drive to get to the Six Flags, nothing. I was just thinking about what am I going to see at the Six Flags. My mind was thinking about that. Wasn't on nothing going on here. So I agree that it does work. It helps. And I had a good day, though. Other than that walk. That walk almost killed me. And then I found out they got these scooters. And you got to pay $70 for the scooters. I said, y'all is making bank. $70 for a scooter. And I know when I went to the state fair, that was some years ago, though, but they was about 30, 35. I was like, well, guess we won't be getting no scooter because $70 is a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
$35 for parking. You don't spend $105 right there.
just to park your vehicle and pick up a scooter.
That's too much. Yeah, because
But your pass, did that allow for food too, or is that separate?
they gave us food too.
Yeah.
On the 4th of July. Now, that was just for the 4th.
Any other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other day you have to buy your own food, but they had free drinks, free ice cream, free food. The DJ was included. You got to stay till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then we end up leaving till about 11:30, but it's just that walk. And then what else? It was all the water rides. You get on all the water rides because they had different sections. It was really, really nice the way they got it set up and stuff. And then could have got on the Superman, but me nor my son do roller coasters, so we didn't do that because it was too much. The Superman it looked dangerous. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm doing that. But it was packed. The line was down the road.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was a lot included in the ticket, and if I did do roller coasters once upon a time, but not no more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I seen them keep piling in people, and they were just screaming and stuff was falling out people's pockets or purses or whatever. I was like, I wonder who pick up that stuff, But you could, as you were sitting there, where we were eating at and sitting at, you could see them on the ride and stuff. So you was very entertained. If you looking this way or that way, you was gonna see something going on. So I was like,
Absolutely.
this is nice.
Yeah.
And it was hot. After it rained, it still was hot. It had to be about 95 out there.
Yeah, I bet.
So it was nice. I really enjoyed myself. I said I was gonna go back on Sunday, right? Nope. Because then I said if I go back on Sunday, I'm going to want that scooter. And I know I ain't got that scooter money. So I didn't go back. But I still got my unlimited, so I can go back again.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. And then, so that's what happened. It was a fulfilling day. And just relax. And then, yesterday, I got up and called myself cleaning up my area, right? Never got done. I said, what is stopping, from the procrastination? So then about 3 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep, so that's when I got it done. So I was like, you know what? I need to turn myself over like a baby. And do stuff in the daytime. Yeah. Because I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning doing what I should did while I wasn't doing nothing. So, but it's been I could put that in the win column.
Yeah.
I could put that in the win column and not have so many negatives. I can put that in the win column to say, success.
For sure. You had a plan for your day. And like I said, your son came along, and that was kind of a bonus. It wasn't initially expected, but he came along too, and that was nice for what it was. And like I said, without him coming along, we wouldn't have got the phone call and to get to talk to some of the family. And
Definitely.
Yeah, there was a lot of good that came out of that. But I think what was key is like you allowed yourself not to be stuck. You made up your mind to say, I'm going to get out. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to enjoy my day. I'm going to enjoy the holiday and enjoy it with a bunch of hordes of people too. But I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to just let it sit by and just be down or upset because things aren't in place. Like I'm going to take initiative. And I think that was key. You allowed yourself to take the initiative and have a good time and get out for yourself. So yeah, that was really great. Like I said, they had some good things that came out of that. Just with again, it doesn't mean the relationship with the family changes or it's back on track or it's all good. It's just it's nice to know that it can still have an opening there, that there is communication there. Yeah, I can't always trust what they might say. Yeah, I don't know if my mom really means that because she said that before, but at least there was some level of being able to talk and share, and at least there was some desire to care enough to talk.
Definitely, because I don't think I would have picked up the phone to call nobody if my son wasn't there. So everything, I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and it was meant to be. So talking to my mom though, I was like, you know what? It's been about, I ain't talked to her in maybe 7 or 8 months. So this is the first time I talked to my mom about 7 or 8 months. So I was like, maybe it was just time to hear each other's voice, and because she'll never get disrespect from me. No, never. I ain't gonna never disrespect her and nothing like that. Just, and then I got to thinking, maybe I could call her more often, just to say hello, maybe.
Right. I don't have to call her every week. I don't have to call her on a constant basis, but maybe once a month, maybe. It just depends. I think it just depends on the next time you do call, how that's going to go to sort of determine how much you want to call after that. But I think it's also I can choose to spend as much or as little time as I want talking with her.
Absolutely.
If we start talking, it's a good conversation, but 5 or 10 minutes in, she starts, I don't know, nagging on something or bringing something up from the past or saying, well, I wish you had done this or whatever. It's like, yeah, I hear you, Mom, but you know what? I've got to wrap it up. I need to get off the phone, but I'm glad I got to talk to you, and I'm sure we'll talk again in the future. Done. I don't have to say, I don't have to give the reason why I'm going. I'm just going to say, yeah, I need to go. This would be a good time for me to go because I see that this conversation is going to get worse, and that I'm really never going to call in the future if it keeps going for another 10 minutes. So I think that's the key.
Getting ahead of it. That's what I hear you saying. Just get ahead of it. Be like, you know what? I think I'm going to use your words verbatim. I think I'm just going to cut this conversation short. And I'm going to call you later. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that verbatim.
Because otherwise, if we don't feel like we can do that, we're going to inundate ourselves with hearing somebody talk or blame or start going down some sort of road that's just going to maybe really irk or irritate or frustrate us. And we're just going to be sitting there just listening to it and getting more annoyed and getting more upset. And or we're still getting, conflictual or argumentative or whatever it might be, or they're going to start saying something that wasn't truthful, and you remember who did this? Remember your dad? It's just not going to go well. And so it's like if I could just cut that off and just say, I want a decent conversation for that amount of time, so that when I get off, I don't have to remember all the bad it was about. I kind of cut that off ahead of time. And it's also kind of a way of showing somebody, like maybe they'll start to recognize when I start going down this negative or kind of blaming kind of road, that person don't want to talk to me anymore. They start cutting me off. Maybe they'll start getting a clue that they do that's a reason for them not to keep doing it. So
yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm really gonna do that because that sounds like a winning thing for me in my situation where, all right, this is going left. You know what? Time for me to get off the phone.
Yep.
Gotta go do something. Talk to you later.
Right. And if we don't, we can do that too. And we can also just sometimes say, see if we can redirect the conversation. If we don't really necessarily want to do that, or depending on what it is, but we can also say like, Mom, tell me what else has been going on, or tell me about that friend of yours that you were hanging out with. We can redirect the conversation if we feel like they're taking it down like a place like, oh gosh, here we go again kind of thing. We can do that too. If we don't want to cut it off completely or we might just say, hey, tell me about the things that change the fluid conversation to something else, or something that's positive, or something that might be, something they could like latch on to that's actually a little more, an okay thing to hear and to talk about.
Yeah, redirection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that too. So it'll depend on
the time you actually call to see how it's going to go. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It depends.
And how often you want to call back after that. It may be 6-7 months until next time you call, but it doesn't go well. But maybe it's more like I could call a little more often. And again, sometimes our relationships with some people being a distance away, sometimes it makes for a better relationship. Sometimes being, 5 minutes down the road from somebody, sometimes we just, it's too much conflict. Sometimes being, 500 or 1,000 miles away, sometimes makes a difference with the communication relationship. Being more distant actually smells better.
Appreciation of the conversation, to hear the voice. Sometimes, like, I appreciate when people call me that they thought about me. Girl, I ain't heard from you in so long. Wow, they thought about me to call me, so that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we could call somebody up and they'd be like, it's about time, and already it's like, oh man, here we go. This kind of thing. But again, maybe we tolerate some of those things just because that's how they kind of are. But yeah, no, I hope maybe in the future if you find yourself calling your mom or whoever that I can allow myself to rate the conversation how I kind of want it to go, or if it's just not, that's not working, I can conclude the conversation and I can feel good about like I've not cut off the communication completely. I just limit how much I can tolerate maybe talking to this person every so often.
Yep, I think that's a plan, because it's been about since May since I had a conversation with other people, so
yeah,
I gotta start. A lot of people thought you're avoiding me. I'm not avoiding you. I don't want my tongue. Like I said, I don't want to say something wrong. That makes it even worse, because people remember what you say. So.
Yeah, and this has been a lot of preservation. This has been a lot of protection, for others from you. It's like I'm not avoiding so much. I would like to call you, but I know that I might say the wrong thing or do something I'm going to regret because of just the
emotion,
tension and emotions that have still been there. That's not resolved. That's not been ever concluded or had closure from. So, yeah, it's me. You should be glad I didn't call you 2 months ago. I might have really bent your head off or something. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Knowing me, and would have said something I would have regretted. So,
right.
I'm gonna take my do not disturb off soon. I'm not ready yet, though. That's what I was trying to say too. I'm not ready to take it off fully yet, because I still have moments. Before it was days. Now I still have moments where. So I'm getting better, but I still have those moments where I just want to curse and say what I want to say instead of realizing other people's feelings. So, trying to. It's getting better. It's just taking longer than I expected, but I just don't want to hurt somebody by what I can say or how I say it, because my tone of voice goes with the words, and how a person perceives what you say has nothing to do. Like when my son thought I was yelling at him and I wasn't, and he thought I was, so he took it the wrong way. I acknowledge that you think that way, but I didn't mean it that way. So
absolutely, that is the key part. I can understand your perspective of where you're coming from. I'm listening to your point of view, what you're bringing up. You made an assumption, it was the wrong one, but I'm not going to yell at you for it. I'm just going to say, I can see how maybe you thought that because I was yelling, but my yelling was to get your attention on the phone, not because I was mad at you. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like a really good example of that. Like I can understand where you're coming from and why you might have perceived it in that way, but just letting you know that that's what I didn't mean to, and so sorry for you, think of that. So absolutely, that's a great example of how we're trying to communicate those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes work, doesn't it? It takes work, it takes effort, it takes time, it takes patience, all those things that we don't always do in our society. We don't want to. We hear something or we make an assumption or we just, I'm so glad that your son actually brought it up. He could have just like said nothing and just been kind of in a, frustrated, upset kind of mood or just kind of stuffed it down. And so I'm glad that he said something. So he took a risk of doing that and you took the opportunity to understand his side, but also point out like what you really meant. So and didn't do it with like a negative tone.
Yeah, and then you have to stop. I realize you have to stop what you're doing and say, "I acknowledge."
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, because some people say, I didn't say that. I wasn't trying to say. We can come off like kind of maybe too defensive in some ways. So. That was a real good example of that.
Definitely. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to come off as angry black woman and don't know how to let go and all that mess. No, I'm actually trying. If both of us could try together, it'd be easier. So, I don't know. See how it goes. That's all I can do. And another thing is I didn't let it ruin my day either. Like,
for sure, yes.
We had a little tiff, and I said that, and I went somewhere else, and still had, continue having fun. So I was kind of proud of myself about that.
Absolutely, there was more good in that day than bad.
Oh yeah.
And so you were able to focus more on that. So absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
And it wasn't something that carried over for 4 or 5 hours. It wasn't something that carried over from that time all the way till the end of the night. Like it was kind of addressed immediately, which I think was good too.
With me anyway. I was like, nope, that's not what I meant. I acknowledge.
Right, absolutely.
Apologize, and then I'm deuces. I'm out. And I went on and continued on with my day because I've spent so much time swallowed in so much negativity. I don't want to do that no more. I'm just done with that. So, I'm just
that's great.
Done with. I just don't have no more tears. I just don't have no more time to be like that. I just don't. I think I just made up in my mind, like, you know what? Not today. Yep. So.
Absolutely. That was good.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out how to, like, going outside, going for walks, or just going outside on the porch. I've been doing that, but I'm still trying to get motivated inside the house. That's what I need to work on now. Like, when I'm in the house, it's just like no motivation. But once I go outside, I'm more motivated. And so I'm trying to get some type of motivation inside the house now. Because before this happened, I was highly motivated. Like, I was busy.
Yeah. But maybe that's part of this too, because it's looking at like how your routines are set up, and maybe sometimes I got to do something kind of like we were talking about before. Sometimes like the vehicles, like I don't always have it at my discretion. I can use enough more in the morning. I can use it, but maybe that's kind of where I do some of my outside stuff, kind of in that morning kind of time frame. So it kind of gives me that motivation, so that when I'm kind of more at home in the afternoons or evenings, I can at least know I got out and did some things at that time, and maybe that kind of carries that motivation over into the house, versus if maybe I try to do some things in the house first, maybe it doesn't hit as well. I think I'm not as motivated. So, maybe if I start off with doing some things more outside the house first, and then see if they can carry over to the rest of the day when I'm at home.
I'm going to try that, because I do notice once I get up and get myself dressed to go out, when I come back, I do have more motivation. So I think I'm going to try that, because if I don't get up and go out, I have little motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it's a lot. It does take work to. I didn't realize how much work it takes to not change but get better. I didn't realize that. I just thought I could do it, because I could do everything. I could do anything, but this is taking some planning. I guess that's
Well,
what
it
it is.
does, and sometimes we kind of can look and say like, well, what's the point? It's just for me, Like I think that's the part of when we don't have a lot of. It's like, well, no one's coming over, or it's just me, or I think sometimes we don't have maybe as many driving factors from a social standpoint, and so that could be a part of this too. It's like sometimes we thrive with other people. Like if we hear somebody else doing something, we're like, that's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that too. There's something to be said for sometimes we feel a little more motivated when we're connected with other people and doing things. If you show up for Six Flags and you're the only person there, it might not have been that fun, right? I think having hundreds and hundreds of people there, it makes it motivating. There's lots of enjoyment and people doing things and watching people and them doing goofy stuff. Like there's something motivating about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing up to have a good time for myself, but I'm also in conjunction with just other people, whether I know them or not.
Yeah, it was.
I think people can be motivating too for us.
It was better day. It was packed because it was all.
Yeah.
It was everywhere you look. It was
Yeah.
something, and it was a moving something. Something was going on. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me focus. So I said, let me go to the pool first. I had a plan, right? A mini plan. Like, okay, I'm going to the pool first, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that. So I liked that. I had so many options to get to do whatever I want to do.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that goes back to what you're saying before. Like, I think there is a sense of like when I'm around people, like it's enjoyable. Like I enjoy being extroverted. Maybe I wasn't so much in like a dialogue kind of way, but I was with just enjoying, seeing people and seeing, being around the environment and it being, having just people's, energy around me and whatnot. What was enjoyable for the most part. I think that's when you can kind of say like it's starting to pull me back into that. Where I didn't have a lot of conversations just to have a good time, but it was nice to just be around the environment.
Mm-hmm.
That was still enjoyable. And again, that might be something that you find yourself like, moving forward, I'm going to need people. I'm going to need people to feel connected with. The next, moving in the future, 4 or 5 months from now, I'm going to need a place that's maybe got some activities. I don't need some sort of everybody's cooped up in their house or in their own place. I'm going to need some, where they got facilities and amenities where people are. Like I'm going to need that because that keeps me going. I think for a lot of us, that helps.
I agree. I agree a lot because if it wasn't for amenities here, I probably would have never got out a couple weekends before,
Yeah.
So, and then now they're having a pool party. And then I did the CPR class with them. So I'm doing different things. I missed out on some activities before because I was, but I ain't missing out on no more.
Yeah.
I see that, that's where you can have, if you want to. You got to want to. But if you want to have fun, you can have fun doing anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we take a risk. I can risk doing this, but, I can risk either just staying home doing nothing or risk going out and being around people. And it may go well, it may not, but sometimes it's worth the risk of just like, I need to be out of my head, or I need to be around some other people, or need to be around some people who don't know me from anything, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think, what do you think? I think I'm on the right track, going the right direction. I don't know, what you think?
Absolutely. I mean, you're part of the goal for you was just to be able to manage being alone and sustaining yourself by, finding ways to manage the emotions and finding things to kind of help you cope on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And I think you're definitely doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
You're heading the right direction, that's for sure. You're not going the wrong direction, I promise you that.
that's what I don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're definitely on a good track with what you're pursuing, for sure.
All right. That's all it is. That's all I got this week.
Yeah, I'm glad it's been going okay. I'm glad it was a really enjoyable time for you. I'm glad you got to, make the most of that. Absolutely, it's a good memory.
Only if it was holidays every week.
yeah.
Boy, it'd be busy for everybody. If it was, what I did miss though on the 4th of July is the cookout part. Even though we got free food and everything, we was taken care of, but just the grills, the smell of the grill, somebody burning something, or
yeah, for sure.
The talking with people. I think I missed that as well, but the trade-off was okay. But I did miss that, the grilling part of it, getting a nice juicy grandma burger with the onions and peppers and stuff,
Yeah, most definitely.
I can probably get it the next holiday. See, how about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, next what they got going on, at the next pool party coming up here pretty soon. We'll have some of that too.
Oh yeah, they gonna have food there too. So maybe I do get that at that. See,
get those summer smells. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So the 22nd, we gonna have that. Yeah. So I'm already put it on my calendar because I don't want to miss it. You know how you you know about it but you forget. So I put it on my calendar to give me a ding that you got to get up and go to the pool.
Yes. Absolutely. Good deal. Well, no, I'm glad it went really well. Glad you had some conversation. Glad it went well with just your son. Didn't have to talk a whole lot. Glad you got to talk with the family just to keep those doors open. So it went really well. Well, yeah, and you would check back and, like I said, see some things you're still working on, and see how the motivation goes, like getting down in the morning and see it carries over the afternoon. And do you want to check back in a week, couple weeks?
We'll try another week, see how it goes.
Okay, sure. If we do next Tuesday...
Same time?
Can we do 3 o'clock? Would that be okay?
3 o'clock.
Okay.
What date is that?
That should be the 16th.
Okay. I'm going to have to set an alarm because I'm so used to the 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 p.m. But you do send me a thing, so it's not like I can't forget, so...
Sure, yeah. And if something ever changes or whatever, I can even send you a message to our portal and let you know some changes there too. But we'll plan on that.
All right.
All right, Nick. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
No, you're welcome.
So, as you heard, I was talking about my 4th of July. Talked to my mom. Made me feel like she watched my video. Because she was like, I'm here for support and all that stuff. So I was like, She gonna watch the video, child. But, again, if you're in need of some help, please research, do what's best for you, but get the help. Don't feel like somebody gonna shame you because of whatever. Yes, most people are not like me where they're transparent, they don't care. I don't. If you want to be malicious on what I put out, do you. That's your time, your energy wasted, because it's not going to do nothing to me. Because if I didn't put it out there, you wouldn't know. But some people are, don't want everybody to know. Still go get you some help. It's support groups. It's therapy. It's medicine, which I don't push on nobody, but hey, if you need medication to get you right, other than the weed, the ganja will get you right. If you need some pharmaceuticals off the pharmacy, do that as well. A best friend, family member you could trust, this is somebody. And an ear or a shoulder. It's so important when you're going through something, and afterwards, you know, just to get you over that hump. That you done been through something, you need to get over that hump to continue on. For our strong people like me, I'm a strong person. When you need somebody and nobody's never there, it's things for you to do, it's things, people for you to reach out to, and just have a conversation, an adult conversation, where you're not being judged, where you're not being ridiculed, taunted, laughed at, you're being heard. So many things you can reach out and help yourself with. So if my videos can help one person, that's all I need. One person to get help from my videos. That's all I desire. That's why I'm putting it out there, and that's why I'm showing you what I go through. My real life, my real therapy sessions. Nothing real today. Good therapy session today. Just talk about nothing really. See what I'm saying? I didn't cry today, so that's a good day. So I ain't gonna talk y'all ears off. I still got that sex video. I gotta do. I did not tape it yet because I haven't been in the mood. Like that procrastination thing I'm on right now. I don't feel like doing nothing. But I'm gonna tape it this weekend. Or maybe tomorrow. You never know with me. But that's coming soon because I got the package that I still haven't opened because I want to open it on camera. So and then if you could drop down in the comments and tell me what kind of videos you want. Like, I would like to come and show you my essentials for keeping myself dry in the summertime. Smelling fresh, being clean. But, you know, don't nobody want to watch it. I ain't wasting my time. But I do want to make a video about that because big girls and big men, we need to stay clean and fresh and dry all the time because, you know, our clothes get to rubbing and, you know, things get to between our legs and all that. So if you want me to do a video about anything, I will because I don't care. But the sex video is still coming. So I want to say peace. I'll be back. At least I'll be back on the 16th. Talk to you later.